What kind of peace will come to South Vietnam? How long will it last? How long will it take the communists to recapture politically all they have lost in the fighting of the war? There's an easy, glib answer in Saigon. It all depends, they say, on the staying power of the dollar after the Americans have pulled out. President Chu, these people and their country's economy will depend on the dollar as much in peacetime as they did in the war. It's argued that the only way to prevent the communists' rise to power in the promised peacetime elections is to continue to pour more American money into South Vietnam. It's been estimated that this country depends 85% on American aid, and it shows. Saigon, despite the long war, now seems to be booming. The marketplaces are full, and as Tet, the Vietnamese New Year, approaches, people are buying at such a rate that already spending records have been broken. So an improved standard of living dependent on increased American aid. As one American advisor said, we've made the towns and cities safe from communism. He meant, of course, the dollar, and he may be right. But the biggest risk to peace is in the countryside where the war is. This is a Michelin rubber plantation 40 miles northwest of Saigon. The area is dominated by the communists, and these people running from one village to the safety of another represents the other South Vietnam. They, like us that morning, had been caught in between fire as the North Vietnamese were trying to hit with rockets a bridge connecting the South Vietnamese fire post to their main supply route to Saigon. The people in the countryside know nothing of the consumer boom. They bear the brunt of the fighting. Their families are sometimes killed accidentally as American and South Vietnamese aircraft bomb communist positions. They have spent most of their lives as refugees, a great deal of the time living in what the military call free fire zones, an area where no civilian authority is needed before an artillery or air bombardment is launched. It is these people the communists will rely on for political support in the peace. It was their sons who were recruited as Viet Cong, and they provided food and shelter to the guerrillas. As the wounded of this fight waited in the dust and sun to be airlifted out to a hospital in Saigon, what was left of their company were taken by helicopter to new combat positions on the other side of the plantation 6 miles away. The war is slowing down, it seems. People are now preparing themselves for the political infighting that's soon about to begin. There are expected to be many casualties. So despite the troops that are employed on the ground combat, despite the artillery, despite the airlifts, the communists continue to dominate much of the countryside, and they can be expected to do the same during peace. Much of the success of the peace settlement, much of the success of an independent South Vietnam will depend on how thoroughly, how cleverly the Viet Cong's National Liberation Front moves back across this countryside after the peace is declared, picking up their votes. Michael Nicholson, News at 10, Thanh Province, South Vietnam.